Hey there everyone, welcome back to Diecast Draggle. This is my 9th custom. It's a Teamsters ambulance that was a very kind donation from the O'Donnell family, who've been supportive of the channel for quite some time, and they've donated several race cars and other diorama pieces as well. So now this little ambulance is a surprise build for Aidan O'Donnell, and it's part 1 of this video. Part 2 will be the announcement, which will be made at the end. Brilliant news for me, the car is held together by that tiny little screw, so no drilling out of any posts. Now that's a process that I haven't mastered yet, so I was pretty glad to see that I didn't have to do that this time round. Right, after disassembly the car gets put into the paint stripper gel, then it'll go into its own little tub and it'll stay there for 24 hours because this particular brand is quite slow acting, so it'll need some time to get the paint sorted out. After that we'll get on to cleaning up the bodywork and getting it ready for paint. The paint stripper gel gets pretty much all of the paint off, with the exception of a few stubborn patches mainly in the casting lines, but the wire brush gets rid of those pretty easily. Not much effort involved here. Now we're building this car for Aidan for a very specific purpose, and I think what he will see at the end of this video will get him pretty excited. The car is looking pretty good so far, but there's still quite a lot of work to be done. It's looking very polished and shiny, but that can only mean that it's just about ready to be sent down to the guys at the spray booth to get the first layers of paint added. I had a few options on wheels for this one, but eventually I decided just to stick with the original wheels and axles because they fitted the best, and I didn't have what I needed as far as tools and skills at this point to shorten the axles and switch onto Hot Wheels wheels or Matchbox wheels. So that's the basics done for the body. Because of what's coming up next in the video, the windows got sprayed black, and to break it all up a little, I gave the windscreen wipers some silver detailing. I did the same for the lights and the grille, and I think that looks pretty good. Then comes the cool part for me, which is the decals. Aidan's favorite number is number 7, so that's why this one isn't a number 9, showing that it's my 9th custom. And I struggled a bit getting the sizing right for these because I do make them myself. The application also wasn't perfect, and you'll see later on that it actually worked out for the better. So the Teamsters ambulance has now been renovated into the O'Donnell Motorsport Errand Runner van for fetching and carrying parts for the race cars. Every serious race team needs an errand runner, in my opinion. After all, race cars put lots of stress on those moving parts, and inevitably something is going to break sometime or other, so you need a reliable workhorse to do all the fetching and carrying. So let's take a step back and see what we started with. There it is, the Teamsters ambulance. The O'Donnell Motorsport team brought it to me and my crew to get it kitted out as their errand runner. Unfortunately though, their garage had no space for it because of all the race cars they've got crammed in there, so it's had to stay outside permanently, and because of that it's looking pretty neglected and the dirt and rust are starting to show through. In addition to that paint job and the decals are looking so worn and weather beaten, I don't think that van has even had a wash since it rolled out of our workshop on the day it was delivered. However, Paul, the O'Donnell Motorsport team manager, has guaranteed me that they have a serious race car engine in that van. And that brings us to the point on the video where we make our special announcement. So, here's our big announcement. We're currently busy with the 2 versus 2 team eliminations. That continues for the next 4 weeks. After that, Callouts is back on Diecast Draggle. But there are some significant changes. The biggest change of all is that modifieds are now permitted to challenge, and the first one to do so will be Aidan O'Donnell's errand runner. But there are some rules. First of all, weight will be limited to 100 grams and all weights need to be inside the car. Then, no naughty names for drivers, cars or teams. Let's keep it clean and friendly. And if you're lubing your wheels and axles, only dry lube will be accepted. We don't want any oil slicks on the track that could cause injury and death. Then there's the race format. That's going to change too. We've been doing it as a 3-car round robin, but what we're going to be doing now is changing it to a 4-car ranked system. So the king at the top, progressively going slower up to rank number 4. Challengers will challenge at number 4 and work their way up. If they're quick enough, they'll get to challenge the king. If they're really quick, they'll be the king, dethrone him and push him down to rank number 2. Will that be you? Well, let's see how good a car you can build. Now we do have a bunch of people from last season that are still queued up to race, so that gives you time to build your race car, get it over here to Scotland and get it climbing the ranks. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in getting a car over to Diecast Dragor to challenge in callouts. Until then, drive wild and race free.